Mac Buckley here with the UCCS Athletic Network. Here we have head coach Lynn Plett from your UCCS women's basketball team. Hey, coach, just played Wayland Baptist. Didn't have the results you wanted to. Ended up going 56-65 as the final score. We talked about some things before the game as far as turnovers and those easy shots in the last game. Coach, really coming into tonight, what was the key and what do you see that we need to make improvements on for next game?
Well, it's clear that we have a ton of work to do defensively. And so we just had too many people really out of position, not playing as hard as they need to. And we kind of knew that from the beginning of the year. And I thought actually 2 weeks ago we were actually playing a little better defense than what we have now. And I think part of that resulted from the fact that we panicked when we couldn't score. And we went for, 0 for 10 in the first 3-pointers, and then ended up not shooting much better than that throughout the game. And instead of relying on our defense to get us back into the ball game, we kept shooting, taking those bad shots. And on top of that, then we just compiled the problem big time with our turnovers.
And Coach, you guys went 20 for 62 on the shots and then 28 turnovers. Just talked about how those really were impacting there, but defensively as well. I mean, several different changes and several different matchups. Does it impact you when you have a preseason player of the year injured?
Well, obviously there's an impact there, and especially since it seems like I think there's maybe even from previous years they've kind of relied on Brittany to carry them in situations like that too. I don't know if that's the case or not, but realistically they need to realize too that we've played a number of games and played some games pretty well when she's been on the bench, and I think sometimes our confidence wavers quite a bit. And again, I still go back to this fact that our confidence needs to be much better and placed more strongly in the defensive end than it is on the offensive end, because you can control that ideally more than you can whether your shots are going in or not.
So it sounds like taking more of a defensive-minded approach versus that offensive, and then getting that ready and then taking it into the offensive and building on your defenses.
Well, that's a big part of it. Yeah, that's something we need to continue to grow, improve. What happened in the second half, especially when they built their lead up, was the fact that the turnovers really killed us. And we had a lot of turnovers in the first half as well, but the turnovers in the second half led to layups on the other side of the court, and those are the killers. When you throw the ball away and they get a layup on the other end, it just totally kills the momentum that you potentially can build up, and that was kind of the difference in the turnovers in the second half than the first half. And then when it comes down to, in the last 5 or 6 minutes when you have to make stops and you're just getting beat, and when the bottom line, we scored just as many field goals as they did, but problem was they scored a lot more free throws, and that's a reflection again on our defense was not where it needs to be, and we were fouling instead of stopping them on the defensive end.
Hey, Coach, you guys went on a run in that second quarter, able to get the win going into the half, and then really it just looked like you changed everything up as far as intensity-wise and just putting a ton of pressure on, forcing those steals and going with those fast breaks, and really those steals definitely helped. You ended up having a total of 13 steals on the night. When you get those steals and everything, does that help you and as far as generate that momentum for you guys?
Oh, absolutely. And I think tonight in particular, Maria had a lot to do with that. She came in and kind of was our spark, ran the floor really well and played and was really aggressive at taking the ball to the basket. Between her and Tori, those are the kind of the people that we had on the offensive end that could score. And the guards just were not, number one, they weren't scoring very consistently, and the three-point shot was not going at all. And then then it made it really difficult for us to get the ball inside at times too. But those two, I think, were the ones that really worked as hard as they could today to try to get us back in the ball game, and we just didn't quite have the team effort that we needed to.
Yeah, that was a tough one. And Coach, you played against a team, they had 3 players with 14 points, being a non-conference team, not in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, and then you're going to be playing Morningside Mustangs tomorrow. Has it helped knowing that you're going to watch a little bit of the Mustangs tonight?
It doesn't hurt. I mean, obviously, I'll definitely watch. I think our players, I think they're taking this one pretty serious, and I think they need to kind of reflect internally and not so worried about so much what we're going to do to stop that other team as far as taking away what they're trying to execute on offense, and just try to play good, solid placement defense and be at the right spot at the right time. And I'm confident that they're going to reflect in a positive way in the end result, and then still be able to come back tomorrow, and hopefully we won't beat ourselves again.
Coach, looking forward to that game tomorrow against Morningside Mustangs. Thank you very much for your time today, Coach. Mac Buckley here with the UCCS Athletic Network. Thank you.